Good Monday morning, my peeps. It's Adrienne Talks. And today we're going to talk about the badass bus. That's what we're going to do. I know you're like, what? What are you talking about? Well, here we go. So as I chat with people, right, about direct sales and bringing people into the direct sales world, people decide to get started with your team or your company. And what's the best way to get them started, right? It's so funny how many people I talk to that are scared. They don't want to push them. They don't want to give them too much information. They have all these thoughts and worries about how to help somebody when they first get started. And I was talking to a friend who I love to pieces, and she helps kids learn how to use the gym equipment, right? And one of her things that she loves to do, and I totally loved how she'd explain this. So I'm like, this is needs to be in the direct sales world, right? She said they just have to be a passenger in your bus for 4 weeks, right? And I thought about this. What an awesome way, right? If you ride side by side with me for 4 weeks, I'll show you all the things you need to do to be badass at sales, right? And right after, you can take over the driver's seat and you'll need very little time. We can work together so much in those first 4 weeks. I can help you so that you don't have to worry. You don't have to wonder, how do I do this? What do I do? Right? We put it up there up front. But I promise most people, when working side by side, after 4 weeks, they are going to know what they're doing and totally be a badass at their sales. So I know this sounds easy, right? I know, like, you're like, yeah, of course, let's work together for 4 weeks. And I totally understand because I hear it from people all the time. They might not call me back. They might want to delay. They might not want to get started right now, right? There's always going to be cases like this that are a little bit different. But I think where we miss out in direct sales is we don't explain to them up front when they're excited and when they get started, right? That it's easier to start right now with your excitement. It's easier to get going right now. You have to remember that most of the time, the thing that's keeping them from getting started is fear. They don't know what they're doing, right? You guys, they think about it. When you start any new job, right? You are not sure what to do. You have to ride side by side with someone to learn what's going on, right? Somebody has to show you how to drive that badass bus, no matter what you're doing. So I want you to understand that that is something that continues. And especially in direct sales, for some reason, we think people should just be able to figure it out. You guys, this is an entire business that we are teaching them, right? They are learning about the product. They are learning how to talk to people, how to spread the word, how to follow up and do client care. They have to learn all of these things. And we have to be the ones to sit side by side with them on this bus and show them how to drive the badass bus so they can do it on their own. Right. And then they can decide when, okay, I'm out of the passenger seat. Right. They might decide, okay, it's not for me. And that's okay. Right. Or they might be like, I'm ready to drive my own badass bus. Right. And that's where we want to get them to. But they still have a choice, always have a choice. But if you haven't listened to the 4 stages of competency that I did with Connie Ashburn, I would highly recommend you go back and listen to that, because I have had a lot of my team members listen to it. I also give it to a lot of my brand new team members because it's hard for people to know that it's normal. That it's normal with any job. When you first start, you are excited and you can't wait to go in for your first day and meet people, and it's so fun, right? And then all of a sudden, towards the end of the week, when they're showing you all this stuff on a computer or showing you how to do the job, and the training is started, and you get a little bit scared. You're like, whoa, I don't know if I can do all this. This is a lot. Like, there's so much to learn and I'm overwhelmed, right? It's too much and you don't understand, right? Maybe it's not for me, but you're going to push through because you're going into an office. So this is where there's a little bit of a difference, right? You said yes to this job, you're going into the office. So you move through the fear and you keep working, right? On that badass bus, right? To understand, okay, this is what I'm going to need to do. I can get through this. I can get through the frustration and learn all these things, right? So with us in direct sales, that's what we need to do, is help them get through all the doubts, right? Keep them close to us and our team members, right? But I constantly hear this. I constantly with coaching. I don't want to push them. I don't want to bother them. I don't want to overwhelm them. You guys, if they went to get that job at the bank, right? They're going to feel the same way. They're going to get overwhelmed. They're going to be unsure for a while. And then a couple months into it, they're driving their own badass bus at the bank and they can probably show somebody how to do that. You have to look at it the same way. You know, they also are feeling overwhelmed and they don't want to bother you. I've heard this so many times, right? Well, I don't want to bother you. Oh my gosh, that's what I'm here to do, right? Just like your boss at the bank, he's there to show you, he is there to show you how to do what you need to do. That is what you do, right? So you need to let them know, don't be afraid to call me. Don't be afraid. And let me tell you, when your fear's high, that's when you need me the most, right? These people do not know how to start a client care system. They don't know how to book a party. They don't know how to set up a party or close a party or host coach or any of those things. Ask someone to join the team. They don't know these things, right? You're the expert that has gone through it, and they need to ride shotgun with you for 4 weeks to help them set up the party, to help them understand how many parties a week they need to have, online, in home, whatever, how many events, whatever they want to do with their business in order, or personal client customers, right? In order to get their business off and make the money they want to make so they can feel successful. I promise you, by the end of the month, that if they work side by side with you, they're going to be a badass driving the badass bus, right? They're going to know what they're doing. They're going to work through those doubts. They're going to have asked the questions. They are going to feel like they know what they're doing and they can actually move forward without you, right? So I want you to understand it takes a little bit for them to get there, right? They need your time. They need your understanding. And a lot of us just think they're going to learn it, right? And I know I got a lot of my networking, but that's a whole side thing that some people don't even know about, right? So if you want to be successful, you need to explain to them up front all the things that they're going to need to learn, and they're going to ride side by side on you with that bus for 4 weeks. Of course, at any point in time, you guys, I am not saying every person is going to stick with you for 4 weeks, but if you give them that up front and you really work with them, they will be able to learn and you will be able to empower them to understand your business, right? And move forward. And if they decide it's not for them, remember, you guys, it's not for everybody. It is starting their own business. And you know, you get to be the guide for them. You have to guide them. You have to help them understand what needs to be done to feel successful, right? You have, if you're setting them up for success, they can't be successful. You can't just put someone at a desk at a bank and be like, do your job when they've never done it before. They're going to quit that day because they don't know what they're doing, right? So remember, these people they haven't, I mean, some people may have joined your team that have done direct sales before, but a lot of them have not. All those things you learned over all these years, you get to be the one to help them not have to take so long to learn it, right? We don't want anyone to feel like they don't know what they're doing, right? I want you to be the person that helps them feel positive, encouraged, excited through the times when it's a little hard, when there's doubt, when there's fear. Like, you get to be the person that goes, hey, this is normal. This is totally normal. Now let's move forward, right? That little bit of, they learn how to overcome doubt on their own while they're working with you, driving that badass bus, right? And then they're on a journey with you, but then they also know how to do that journey with someone else. So when someone you think is like totally going to be amazing, and you tell them why they're going to be amazing, right? This is how we help people get started, right? You love the product, you need more money, you want flexibility, all the things that direct sales has to offer. You guys know I love direct sales, right? So all the things we have to offer, you can tell them, I see this will be great for you because of that. But then when you ask them to give it a shot, tell them you will be a passenger on my badass bus for 4 weeks, and then your business will be badass. So until next week, you guys, when Adrienne talks, realize the power's within you.